Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is Weekly Shonen Jump for the week of March 30th, 2019. On the cover, we have Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer. I'm not totally sure what's going on here, though. Like, I guess these are both... What is his name? Is it Kanjuro? It's something Juro, I think. But, like, he's using two different elements, and it's not like... It's all... Oh my god, I think I understand now. Like, I've been looking at this ever since yesterday when it first showed up, and I didn't really get it, but it just clicked. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the manga version of him, and this is the anime version of him. Because, like, if you look at it clearly, like, this is definitely more hand-drawn. It's, it's rougher. But, like, it's not supposed to be, like, two different forms of him. Because the differences aren't, like, clear enough to be, like, this is, like, his fire form, and this is his water form. It's more like just, this is sharper, this is... Yeah, I think this has to be... it has an anime already, though, so it's not anime announcements. But it might just be, like, something about the anime. Anyways, I'm glad I was able to clear that up. It just came to mind. But let's move right along to Actage, Chapter 59. Okay, so... We've got the couple that is part of the film club, but not really part of the film club, and I'm still interested to see how they'll tie into the film club. Because, like, she understands, I don't know, like, what's left for her to do. Because she doesn't respect Kay, but she understands that Kay's acting is, like, something else. She respects the power of Kay's acting. She just doesn't get why she would be doing it here, I guess? Okay. That look in her eyes. That day in April was the first time I saw it. I hated that look in Yonagi's eyes. Hmm. So if I'm gonna guess, either this is like reference material, like, this is the shot that made me want to do this video, to do this short movie with Yonagi, or this is her right now, and she'll realize, like, oh wow, Yonagi's an amazing actor or actress, that she was able to act exactly the way I remember her acting. Okay, so we are, like, transitioning right to the actual, to the past, to why she hates Yonagi. Yeah, that's pretty chilly. Like, knowing what I know about Yonagi, I get why it is that she had to work after school. Like, she's the only one supporting her family. But at the same time, she could have been a lot nicer about it. Oh, the tree's bare. Okay, so it is happening right now. Wait, don't tell me. In those days. Yeah, definitely. It's a scene that they're making. I thought it would have been kind of interesting if it was a video that he had taken, like, showing why it is that he wanted to do this short film with her, but in hindsight, it would have also felt like a creep video. If it was like, oh yeah, check out this video, I took it for a long time ago. All I ever thought about was my own life. It was like the other kids' school lived in a different universe, but not anymore. Now I see how we're all connected. This is a pretty good moment to show to her, like, if you're not going to sway her by just saying, like, it's good for the club, at the very least, you could use this to show, like, hey, Yonagi's a different person. Whatever it is you hate about her, it's probably not true for this specific version of Yonagi. Oh, okay. So, like, because she said, I'd love to make this movie together, this could be part of the movie. This could be just, like, a weird meta moment in the movie, but I guess not. I guess they filmed this specifically to affect her. Like, that feels a little controlling, though. Though I guess there's, like, what's the difference there? Like, if you're making a video or you're, trying to talk to someone because you want to convince them, like, you are trying to control them to some extent. It feels weird if I say it like that, but that is, like, what your intent is. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just you trying to show someone, like, your actual feelings, your actual intents. Now, we've kept on bringing up, the crowds. The fact that, it's really hard for them to, to shoot anything with all these people around. Is, like, what is the role that the other two members are supposed to have then? Like, are they just going to be crowd control, or what? Dang, hotties hate... hotties date hotties. I mean, that is a line that I would definitely hear at high school, but I don't know. Something about seeing it here really got me. Okay. I'm not annoyed with Yonagi or these three next to me. I'm annoyed with what I thought of as normal. Okay, how is this gonna go down? Like, we don't have very much left in the chapter, so I guess it's going to just end with her saying, hey, I'll help you with your film. But I really wanted to see, like, how is she gonna help? Like, clearly they need more people. They definitely can't do it with just the two of them, but What specific roles can they cover? And also, like, how do they deal with all the people around them? Like, it can't be as simple as just a third or fourth person saying, "Hey, don't come here. We're trying to shoot something," because that just keeps, people would still crowd around and people would still ignore them. So, uh, promise me you'll keep your hands off of Ryoma. Okay. Ah, she made a group chat. Nice. And it's just the three of them too. Like, she didn't even automatically include her boyfriend. So I guess the next chapter will be like roping him into this, figuring out why it is that he doesn't want to get involved. Which, if I had to guess from what we've seen before, it probably isn't even that he dislikes Kay, but it might just be like, every time I remember him bringing it up, it was just like, oh, we just joined because we didn't want to do anything, and you needed someone else for your club. So I think he might not have an actual like powerful negative reason not to. If I had to guess, he just doesn't want to because he's lazy. Like, he should be the easiest one to sway now that she's been swayed over. Anyways, that was Actage. Good chapter. Not a whole lot. Like, if you really like Actage, I am sorry, because I do really like Actage, but I definitely do not think these are fantastic reactions. But then again, I don't know what would be a absolutely fantastic reaction, and I just realized when I keep hitting undo, it's just doing the same thing over and over again. But yeah, I am interested enough in this arc, but I feel like we need to do something else. Like, either we need to speed things up a little tad, or we need to introduce some other elements. Because it's not like I dislike this arc, it's just like there's nothing about it that is particularly gripping me. Whereas even with the like the Galactic Railroad, I'd say like maybe the first two-ish chapters kind of had me going, I don't know what's going on. But after that, we had so many interesting character dynamics that I was able to, like, every chapter had, not every chapter, but a lot of chapters had something very standout. And then once we got to the actual play, it started really exploding. So what I guess I really want is, I want the boyfriend to be swayed really easily so that we can start properly filming. Because, like, if this arc's going to be at all like the other arcs, then I feel like once they start filming for real, and once they start running into problems that, the film club as a whole, or, the cinema club as a whole can deal with, that's when this arc will truly shine. But anyways, that was Actage. Next is Black Clover, chapter 199. One away from 200. Oh boy. I saw a theory recently stating that, like, what if Asta's blades aren't actually like, the Demon Slayer sword, the Demon Dweller sword? What if they were just, like the Dweller sword and the Slayer sword? And because like when this elf was possessed, his light magic became demon light magic. What if the same thing happens to the swords that Asta has? I thought that was a cool idea, but I looked further into it, and apparently the kanji don't match up, which kind of sucks because I think that'd be a really neat like bit of wordplay. Either way, I do appreciate that it is demon light magic. Like, that means that potentially any magic we've ever seen in the series, once, amped up by demon magic, which we've seen before, like, which elf is the one that uses beast magic? Is it Raya? I think it's Raya. Like, he used beast magic for a while, and then near the very end of the arc, he really needed to amp himself up, so he opened up the third eye, he turned his beast magic into demon beast magic. Like, it's a neat way to just have a buff in the series where we can look at it and know it, like, it's shorthand for this is some real powerful magic without it being like just one specific type of magic. Like, theoretically, any type of magic can also be demon that version of magic. Also, the ultimate natural enemy, which I assume this has to refer to Asta, because he is the ultimate natural enemy of any type of magic. Like, any type of magic, regardless of how you amp it up with demon power, he is anti-magic. He is the hard counter to all magic. And we still haven't, like, fully explored what his demon's all about. I don't think Black Clover's chapter 100 was anything special, was it? But I feel like for chapter 200, they could do something really, really big involving the demon inside of Asta's grimoire. Okay, the way we are now. Nice. Okay. I guess that was just like Asta was the one repelling the light magic, and then Yuno was just, pushing Asta. We also don't know what exactly demon magic is. Like, we know it uses a different rune system, which is why Asta's grimoire is, just filled with completely different scripts. Okay. Okay, Nozelle's here, I guess. Hmm. But I mean, that's not quite what I expected. I thought this was gonna be a Ask the Yuno special, like all the way through. Not that I'm not, appreciative of the help. Okay. Wait, is he the natural enemy? But how? Ever-changing Mercury magic can be used for both offense and defense. It can handle any sort of enemy. It always yields results. Oh, right. Oh, it's reflective. It's reflective. When the series started, I had a very loose understanding of how exactly everyone's magic worked because it's generally just an element, but then they can do a lot of other crazy things with it. Like it's a very loose element most of the time. But I guess Mercury does have a lot of facets to it. Like it is metallic, it is reflective, it's poisonous too, actually. Okay, for when that time comes, I've continued polishing my blades. What in the world is he gonna do? I imagine some sort of like perfectly reflective spear just to contain him. The idea being that it doesn't matter how powerful your light magic is. If you're completely encased, then you can't fire it anywhere. Oh, that is neat too. Like, like this explains why it is that he didn't use it back then. Mercury creation magic, Silver Star of Execution. Okay, that's actually a lot cooler looking than just a pure sphere. And I imagine it uses less mana than a perfect sphere too. God, this is a pretty good counter. Not gonna lie. Okay, well he's put his foot in the ring. I am the one who will become the Wizard King. Like, as much as I hate that Julius was, defeated, at the same time, that does feel like the perfect next step of the series. Like, now that a new Wizard King is going to be crowned. It reminds me a little of, in Naruto when when a new Hokage has to be crowned, but, it's not Naruto. Like, I assume the same thing's going to happen here. Someone else who is much more suited to being Wizard King than Asta or is going to be the next Wizard King. And then the big goal is going to be, okay, well, we've trained with this person, we've known this person is now the Wizard King, we need to be better than them by the time they get taken out eventually. Yeah, good chapter. Like, definitely, explosively better than Actage this week, but Black Clover always has that advantage. I'd like to see when it's been that I've ever put Actage above Black Clover, because I have to imagine it happens very rarely. Black Clover has that consistency. It's always not always explosive, but it's usually really good. Next is Food Wars, Chapter 305. Okay, it's the big showdown. It's the showdown that everyone thought was going to be the end of the arc. It's happening right now, and I legitimately don't know who's going to win. See my last reaction if you want my whole spiel on that. You can do it. Get him, Asahi. Show us your crossed knives again. But yeah, I do love that too, because he is an underdog. I did bring that up last time. Like, he is legitimately in the same situation as Soma. It's just, he's more charismatic. And he has more of a ridiculous, crazy gimmick to him. Okay, yes, this is awesome though. Like, a Polar... Not just a Soma cheer squad, but a Polaris cheer squad. It's been a while since the dorms have really mattered. Like, not since even the fight against the council wasn't really a Polaris versus council fight because it was a mixed group. So it's nice. It's nice to see the flag again. And Joichiro did make it. I mean, we did see him getting here, but still. Yeah, it's probably been a hot minute since he's seen his own daughter. Whose knife do you think this is? Answer, Joichiro Saiba's. Okay, so... I mean, that is extremely fitting. We didn't know he had his knife, as far as I can recall, but then whose knife is fit enough to cross with it? I assume it would be literally his own. Like, instead of using two stolen knives, it would just be like, this is my actual knife, this is your father's knife, and with both of these, you have no chance. Interesting. So the very first knife he got, the very first knife that was someone else's that he got, was not one that he stole. It's one that he got from his mentor. That's a neat, huh. I didn't expect that, honestly. I legitimately did not expect that. And then this is what I expected. Like, we did see that they fought at some point. We didn't know who won as far as I can recall. Or no. We did know that Joichiro lost that, right? I don't think we knew that he took his knife. But okay. This makes sense now. So he had the knife before, he beat him with it. Yeah, he did do it first, before Soma could. Alright, he's taking it with, some actual, panache, like, "Hey, I don't care, I'm fine if you're using dad's knife, that means I get to surpass you and I get to surpass him in one move." Okay. In common parlance are what most people, most call the 5 grand cuisines of the world. French, Chinese, Turkish, Indian, and Italian. Okay. I mean, that all makes sense. For this match, I will have you create a dish that uses all of them. What? What? I mean, that's wild. Because the first thing I think of would be like, a sampler, like a thing that is literally, one of each cuisine, but then that's not a solidified dish. Like, it kind of makes sense, but it wouldn't really count as being like one unified whole. Incorporate all 5 grand cuisines into a single dish and present to us the highest of haute cuisine. That is the theme for this match. Okay. I was really hoping he would use his own knife as opposed to some random other person's. Though I guess that actually would be interesting if he uses, Chef Saiba's knife plus one different knife for each of those, 5 grand cuisines. Okay. Because, like, this is the thing I love the most. I love it when when the main antagonist has some ability that clearly makes them very, very suited to this current dish, where Soma is not suited to it at all. Like, this is a classic matchup. So I really do hope we get to see, like, at least 6 knives. Especially if, even, like, if Asi could lose here, then I would want him to, to show off as much of the cross knives as he possibly could. Also, showing a lot of cross knives would also make it easier to believe that he could lose. Because it really could go either way. I really would be super pumped if this tournament ends with it being, Nakiri versus Asahi, and she ends up winning. So I really want this to be as close as possible. If at all possible, I'd also want Soma to present second, just to, to make it feel like he's going to win, but in the end he doesn't. But at the same time, it would be very strange for the series as a whole if Soma doesn't win. Like, it would kind of dump on his, his goals, on how far he has come as the main character, if he were to lose here and then, be shown up by another character. I am excited, though. So, that definitely goes, This was definitely a more important chapter than Black Clover. But did I enjoy it more so than Black Clover? That's the big question. I'd say no. Like, there was, we had a cool reveal or two, but it wasn't as exciting as Black Clover on a visceral level. And part of it is because, the chapters before this weren't the very best. It didn't lead into it as well as it could have. But that's just, that's the nature of manga. Hopefully the next few chapters are absolutely mind-blowingly good, though. Because, like, this setup has a lot of promise. Alright, next is Annihilation, Chapter 15. Process 15, a time spell. Okay. So perhaps she still has that unspecified illness. Either something horrible is going to happen in the past that, kills her, or it's going to be something, and then we'll learn that, Neo is working on this even here, even now in the present. This is a lot less impactful because we can't see the colors, but still. That is cool. How? Then you really did make this? Like, that must genuinely seem pretty mind-blowing. And I do like that it's an example that isn't ridiculous. Like, it is Tetris. Like, clearly he must have used a guide or something to, like, he probably didn't make it completely from scratch, but it makes sense that a kid would be able to figure out Tetris. Like, not relatively easily, but, with a bit of thought, with a bit of applied efforts. I guess the alternate question could be, like, it could be that he just found Tetris and then learned how to modify it, so he could pretend that he made it, but I'd like to say that he made it. Like, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. Aww. This is great. Like, seeing him being, like, actually embarrassed and blushing when he calls himself a genius. It's adorable. I love it. This must have really been when he first, began to believe in himself. When he first began to gain self-confidence. Okay, and this started his escalation. Like, now he has to make better and better things to show off to her. This is awesome. Because I feel like they definitely could have shot this in different, like, if they hadn't shot this well, I feel like this could have been very depressing. It could have been sad to see a kid, spending all of his time indoors. But especially with this shot, like the quick transition from fall to winter here. Like, it's a really cool way of showing that, yeah, he's putting a lot of effort into this. He's staying inside and just working on his programming, but it makes him happy. Like, he spent a full year. Yeah, we saw all 4 seasons here, but it makes him feel good. It is something that is like a net positive influence on him. This is a great kid move. Like, yeah, the net goal of this was to keep her from, from doing anything too taxing, but she doesn't care. Yeah, you can't really romanticize it. And I do like that he's not lying to her. Like, everything he's done so far, I assume he also really did make the entire game of Tetris from scratch then. Or, using a guide. But, he did type out all the code. Okay. Is this his first, like, kind of ethically gray thing that he did? Oh, look there. That's not a school teacher, right? Oh boy, is this his first, like, baddie that he's taking down then? How'd he do it, though? I mean, I assume he's also not going to set him on fire. That feels like a late level thing that he learned how to pull off. Like, this could be the first time he ever set someone on fire, but that also seems a bit too anti-heroic, like a bit too villainous. Like, the way we've set this up, it feels like she's going to see him as a hero throughout until the bad thing happens and she dies, or, she gets hospitalized. If we just summon a guard without raising the alarm, we decrease the possibility of the burglar being caught. Okay. Okay, that's smart. Like, just make it seem like you're calling from within the school. That way, like, even if they question who called this in, it would just be like, it was probably someone. Like, who knows? It was probably just a teacher, whatever. We don't have to look into it. Clearly, the person was there, and they called, and the person got, taken care of. Oh. We usually wouldn't be able to see inside the school, and you got the bad guy without even leaving the house. It's like magic. Oh my god. Ah. So it's like, being a wizard is a thing, for people who code. But she also independently came up with it on her own. That's awesome. I imagine this must also really appeal to her because, she's bedridden, because she can't leave her house. So the idea of being able to affect the outside world just through computers. I mean, we haven't gotten a whole lot of perspective from her, though, especially if she's super into computers. What if she does end up being a hacker? That would be really cool. It doesn't seem like that's what they're leading at, though. It seems like he's going to be the hacker and she's just going to watch, but that also feels kind of sad if she just ends up being a purely passive character. She is so... I love it. I love how incredibly positive she is. If you really put your mind to it, it's not just computers you could master. I bet you could do anything. Aww. Yeah, Tavari's illness is called an intractable disease. Most people who have it die in their teens. Yeah, so, but in their teens, like, he's still technically a teenager as of the present, so she could still be alive. He could still be doing something to, to potentially help her. Oh, jeez. So even that, like, it wasn't just a funny moment of, oh, you really should be resting, but no, I'm gonna hang out with my friends. Like, her mom was, was legitimately kind of upset about that, but this is more serious than she let on. There's research. Can you wait until then? If I'm really a wizard, then I should do something. Oh, wait, what? Hmm. For what purpose? Like, is it doesn't seem like they can't afford her medicine or anything, so why would he be hacking the pharmaceutical place? By hacking medical and pharmaceutical research engines around the world, spreading their findings. The way this is laid out feels kind of mistranslated. Like, I can't do this on my own, and the treatment is sure to develop far more efficiently. Like, this bubble here doesn't seem to quite connect to this one. See, like, it should be, like, and spreading their findings, and then, there should be something else logical here that leads to, and the treatment is sure to develop far more efficiently. I do like this, though. Like, it is a villainous act. I get it, like, I've met people in the pharmaceutical industry. I understand that there's a lot of money that goes into it. It's not just, a bunch of people trying to bogart research in order to make the most profit. It's like, it costs a lot of money to get those findings, and you have to make that back through your drugs. But I get, like, especially because he is a younger person, I think this is a pretty cool move to make. Like, he doesn't fully understand it, but at the same time, like, he is self-centered. He just wants to help her. And if this will help her, then screw it. It's time to accelerate the time that it takes to develop medicine. For a future that Tabari can be part of, I'll use a spell to manipulate time. Oh, so that's why this is called a time spell. Okay. I thought this was like it still kind of made sense with the whole, she has a limited amount of time, she has this incurable illness, but that's really cool. Like he's literally speeding up. Oh, I hope she's not dead then. Like she might be. She might be. Or realistically speaking, it could just be that, big leaps have been made, but it's still not enough. Like it's enough that her life expectancy has extended a little bit, but it's not a ton. Because it also seems like Arata, he doesn't want to be a doctor. He clearly likes hacking. Like he's working mostly on tech stuff. If he's going to get a legit job, it's probably going to be a tech job. So, ah, there's got to be something else there though. Like either she's dead and that's why he went full villain, or she is still alive, and in order to like get enough money or to progress the next stage of his plan to to make medicine better, he's going to, he needs funds or he needs resources or something to that effect. Gotta say, he's an awesome character though. Like it scratches my itch for, just tech stuff in general, which I think is super cool, even if I myself am not a techie person. And it scratches my medicine itch because I love medicine. Oh, this is a great arc. I mean, definitely the best thing I've read today. It definitely beats Black Clover. I hope we get one more chapter. I just want one more to see like where everything is right now. Once we understand that, I don't really want to spend more time with Tabari. I want to get back on the Gavauden train. But I want there to be a logical connection between like, okay, this is the end of his backstory, and this is like what made him Neo. And this is why he's doing what he's doing right now. I want the logical connection, and I don't want it to take more than one chapter. So let's hope for that. Next is Hell Warden Higama, Chapter 14. So we're getting that flashback. We're gonna see how his dad and aunts died. Also, does Hell Warden take place in modern time? I guess so. I guess the 3DS was around 6 years ago, but that feels, oh boy, I'm feeling old. I'm feeling old. You promised you'd buy it for me. I said if it was under 3,000 yen, like I'd ever pay 6,000 yen for a lousy video game. Oh, that does suck. Like I've never been in this particular situation of I sure want this specific video game. I've always been pretty lax when it comes to video games. Like, sure, I'd like to have some, but I don't really need any. This seems to be sort of, I mean, I can't read the title, obviously, but it looks kind of like a Monster Hunter, maybe. I assume it's supposed to be kind of like Yokai Watch or something, if it's supposed to tie into Higama in any way. But it's like, it clearly doesn't look like the Yokai Watch. It looks more like a Dragon Quest, or, like a Dragon Quest box cover. If you teach me, he can whine and get whatever he wants. I'm the one who has to deal with it. Wait a minute. I mean, I get her logic of it's not lit, so it's fine, but then why is she walking around with an unlit cigarette in her mouth? That's even stranger. Oh, if you promise you'll come with me on my next job, I'll buy you the game. Okay. Okay, so he definitely did not want to be a Hell Warden, which makes sense. Like, from what we've seen in the series so far, he's not suited to be a Hell Warden. Like, he shouldn't be a Hell Warden, but like now that his dad's dead, I assume he forced himself to pick up the title. Like, well, if I don't do it, then someone else is gonna have to. I guess I've got to do it. Like a problem with his personality. He hates violence in any form. Okay. I can see how this could be a problem. Like if he's hard line about it. If he absolutely in no way whatsoever tolerates violence. He's even stopped wanting to watch TV at home. He says the news gets too nasty. He doesn't like sports either. I mean, I can relate. I can definitely relate. I did the same thing when I was a kid of just like not watching anything for a while because I didn't like violence, like even cartoon violence for a while. I got better. Like it doesn't bother me now, but I was still like, not a big fan for a long time. I think that was when I got super into cooking shows, weirdly enough. Because I mean, cooking involves cutting meat and stuff, but it's not violent at the very least. Okay, so let's see. Why does he have to do it? Because up until this point, I assumed that, he chose to do it, but he could quit if he needed to. 400 years ago, an ancestor of the Kagurete family helped a spirit known as the Old Man break out from hell. Once freed, the Old Man invoked the spell of the goddess, and released multitudes of fugitive spirits. Okay, so it is their clan specifically. Because they said before there are other Hell Wardens, though. Like, there are other Hell Wardens in other districts, which implies that, like, I mean, 400 years is a long time. That's like, I did the math before. If we assume that each generation is like, 25 years, like, in Japan, the age at which you have a child is below 25, but let's say 25. Assuming every 25 years, the firstborn child of your family has their firstborn child. That's 4 generations every 100 years. That would be 16 generations in 400 years. So I guess within 16 generations, that's enough people to really spread things out. To have like a ton of people who are kind of part of the Kagurite family who are Hell Wardens, but even that feels weird. If I had to guess, I would say that the Kagurites are like that's the reason why the Kagurites are, Hell Wardens. And they're distinctly connected to why all these fugitive spirits exists, but I assume then there must be other Hell Wardens from other families that are just, that are Hell Wardens for other reasons. It's just that, the burden of being, descended from that original person who broke out all those spirits is, the Kagurite problem. It's also interesting that it's like the old man was broken out specifically by the ancestor, but just the old man. And then the old man was the one who broke out the others using a spell of the goddess, which is also interesting. Like, they didn't say the goddess specifically. So is it a Shinto goddess? Is it a like a goddess of some religion we don't have in real life? If Higama runs from it, he'll be sent to hell when he dies. Okay. So that's extremely heavy. That's oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, I do appreciate that hell is very cut and dry in this universe. Like, it isn't fair. It's not meant to be correct. It just is what it is. All right. We won't lose. I swear it. Actually, in that case, maybe the what is it called again? The one that like oozes mercury or copper or whatever. Maybe it's actually some sort of like holy spirit, perhaps? Nah, because it was also a spirit from hell, though. But then why? I mean, it could be the first Kagurite family member. Like, it could be that ancestor that caused this curse to happen. Sure, maybe, potentially. Like, that's the easy theory. I don't know what I was going with though. I had a difficult theory, but I can't think of it right now, so let's ignore it. This is the easiest idea: is that it is that ancestor, and then to keep the the fugitive spirits that were released from being sent back, he wants to kill off all the Kagurites that came after him. All right, we've got a job to do. She looks really good in the outfits. Like, I do appreciate, by the way, that it is literally a uniform. Like, it is the same uniform. It isn't very different between the two of them. Apart from, the cut, obviously. Okay, so his game pieces in the fight against the fugitive spirits won't leave the fields. God. So, Enma, like, this is great. Higama, as a child, was willing to stand up to Enma and to say, like, hey, hell is wrong. Let's not do hell. The fugitive spirits are pitiful, no matter what bad things they've done. Right, I don't like watch my family do that kind of job. Like, I hope Enma has a response that isn't just, well, I make the rules and I say you have to do it. Like, that is completely within the realm of possibility. And I wouldn't be angry if the series did that. Like, it is in keeping with how hell works. But I want him to have more of a moral argument. I mean, he's not wrong, too. If everyone in the world did that for everyone else, no one would have to fight. The world would be peaceful. I guess this is putting him to the test, then. Oh my god, what if Enma is the one who set this up, actually? I mean, I guess not, because he is turning 10, and we did imply, like, when he turned 10, that was when the Mercury Spirit attacked, because that's what it always does. I guess this is more of just, Enma being smug because he understands it. Like, he understands human beings a lot better than a child would. The best thing to do is to find a way for good people and bad people to make friends. Hey, he spoke! So Enma is agreeing to an extent, I guess. Not everything can be measured solely as correct or incorrect. Hold your ideals deep in your heart. Protect them. Don't forget them. Don't change them. Especially this shot. This is a I know your family's about to be slaughtered before your eyes smile. This is a, well, you said that as a kid. You'd better fucking stick to it. He's so gentle and kind. I mean, I feel like this is setting up just, the reveal of, oh, Enma is not my friend. He is no one's friends. Wait, what? That boy isn't the Great King Enma. What we call the Great King Enma is actually a tremendously vast system. Oh, okay, I'm cool with that. So, like, everything is Enma, and then this is just like his avatar, perhaps? Okay, that makes sense. So we can comprehend the great King Enma. Like, he is just. That's really cool. And that also explains why he's been chained. Like, we saw that back in, I think, chapter 1 or chapter 2, that he had the chains on him. So even there, like, even though he has a personality of his own, he is still ultimately just a way to perceive the system. Okay, so we're seeing Nengetsu again. If you'll only lend me your support, I'll have all I need to destroy the great King Enma, and then your penance will be over. You'll all be free. Oh man, I didn't pay attention to the duration in Hells. I assume this is still in the past, though. Like, this is when they first met, then. Why then? Like, specifically, we know that I mean, I guess we don't know that. We know that Higama saw her die, but that's not necessarily true, right? Like, that could be a lie. It could have been set up. And I do like this. Like, I like that they specifically mentioned that, Enma is not that individual person, it is the entire system. So when he says, I'll have all I need to destroy the great King Enma, what he really means is, like, if we set this all up, I'll be able to take down the system that divides souls into, into hell and anywhere else. Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to put my money on the fact that she is still alive, she's still around in the present day, and she is helping out with this, this enormous plan. This was a good chapter. Like, there was a lot of lore here. Like, we know the old man. First of all, like, the old man was brought up before, but this is the first time that we learned what he what he did. Like, the fact that he was the first fugitive spirits, and that he is the one that caused all the other fugitive spirits to break out. When I first read this page, it made me think that, maybe the old man did this against the will of that original Kagurite family member. But the more I think about it, the more I believe that to be false. I feel like this must have been their own great plan. Like, for some reason, that Kagurite family member wanted this jailbreak to happen, thus he broke out the old man. Or she. We don't know. And now it feels like things are about to repeat themselves, just, with Harma and with Ngetsu in place of the old man, maybe? Though before, it seemed like he was following the orders of the old man. Or, like, he was doing what the old man wanted him to do. Interesting chapter. Very interesting. Definitely above average when it comes to Hellward and Higama. Like, it was just a good chapter of Higama. I guess I would put that. Would I put it above Black Clover? I think I would. For the first time in a long time, I will put that above Black Clover because it was a good foundational chapter that helped me explain. Like, I understand the series a bit better now. I understand the worlds, and it seeded a lot of interesting concepts, especially the fact that Higama is very clearly, like, not suited for this at all. Like, before, we just knew that, he wasn't well trained and that he had, his doubts with the system. But now we see that as a child, as a little kid, he was fundamentally, like, not compatible with the idea of being a Hellwarden. I hope it doesn't seem like the series wants us to think that he's going to just, crush down those feelings and be a good Hellwarden from now on. It feels like he's going to reform the system somehow. I just don't know how. Because I assume he also has to be opposed to the fugitive spirits. But I think there could be an answer that is, forgiving them. That is abolishing hell without, making them a problem. I mean, the big question is just, what else is there apart from hell? Like, are there other afterlives? If so, could you not just send all the fugitives to another afterlife that is not the infinite suffering of hell? Because, like, what's the negative consequence there? Like, it's like, presumably they're supposed to be in hell forever. Like, there's no amount of time that they have before they're freed. Like, the duration in hell is not how long they were supposed to serve. It's how long they served before they were, broken out by the old man. So, like, I don't see the problem in just creating another world. I mean, I get the problem of, I don't know how to do that. I don't know if that's possible, but that seems like a good solution so far, is just create another afterlife if there's even a problem with sending them right to heaven. Or, like, if there is a heaven, like, why not? Why not just not send them to hell? Anyways, good chapter, good chapter. Next is Chainsaw Man, chapter 16. Denji, I guess, did in fact, have a nap. Okay, we learned that we can use the water and electricity. As far as food goes, there's a little bit in luggage. Yeah, but, I mean, Denji's now nice and rested, so I assume he's gonna have a way, or, like, he's not gonna have a way, but I imagine if there's gonna be a big fight, he's prepared for it now. So Aki's still been hunting. Makes sense. Like, that's the way he is. Arai was helping Aki at first, now he's freaking out. He shut himself in a room, won't come out. Kovani lost and tried to drink from a toilet, so I knocked her out. Okay. I'm bored, so I was thinking up a Nobel Prize winning invention. If I win a Nobel Prize, humans will grovel before me, and then I'll use my Nobel Prize as a stepping stone to become Prime Minister. I want to watch humans suffer, so my first act as Prime Minister will be to implement a 100% sales tax. I love it. God power. But okay. It's surprising that Arai broke down, though I guess it makes sense. Like, he was always very high-strung. Whereas Kobani, I still feel like her ability is going to be what breaks them out. She has some sort of skill that we have not seen as of yet. So definitely counting on her. Power. I mean, this does seem like Power. This seems like her. That's just life. I can appreciate this. Like, I don't think it's a good mindset to have, but I've definitely, I have friends who are smokers. I know people who are just happy with the fact that they have an addiction. Like, not even because the cigarettes do anything for them, but just because they're like, yeah, I like being an addict. It's fun. I don't fully understand the concept, but I guess if it makes you happy, if it does, like, how do I put this? If it's something that you enjoy doing with your life, then I don't agree with it, but I guess it's fine. You do you. I feel like anything I say is incorrect there. Like, don't smoke. Smoking is bad. Don't do it. Also, don't make people smoke. Don't indoctrinate people to the concept of smoking. But I guess if you're just doing it to yourself, then fine, sure. Okay, so was this the first time when she, pulled out the line of it's a hassle, my buddies die on me? This flashback's going a lot longer than I thought it would. So I guess we will, I hope this will terminate with him, smoking then. Okay. She was my previous buddy's girlfriend. Ah. Okay, that does make sense, I guess. And the more people she takes on, the more partners she has, the more people hate her because, yeah, you're the one who survived, and the person you were with, the person I loved, is dead now. I snuck up and... Okay, well then. That's a very not him move to make. That feels very Denji-esque, actually. Serves her right. Now she has gum in her clothes and she has no idea. It's so petty. The devil hunters that the devils fear most aren't the strong or the brave. They're afraid of the ones with a few screws loose. That does explain the makeup of their party right now. That's why everyone's kind of quirky. It's because that's her philosophy on how to make a good party. Oh, I'll smoke it, but just the one. This is the only cigarette I'll smoke in my entire life. Oh boy. That is cool though, that they're not in a relationship, but they're still willing to share cigarettes. Yeah, it's an indirect kiss, but whatever. He doesn't care. Oh, it's gotten bigger, a lot bigger. Well then, oof, oh boy. Yeah, what kind of devil is this? I think that's really cool, actually, that the devils so far have been, very clearly defined. This one, when we first saw it, it was very abstract, very, goofy, so I didn't really question what kind of devil it was, but now it's an actual question. Presumably, it's the devil that is causing this whole, endless 8th floor thing to go on. But then, what object would connect to that? Plus, it's this weird, Akira blob now. A contract. Let me eat that human named Denji, dead or alive. Feed him to me. Now return all of you other devil hunters to the outside unharmed. Okay, and she snapped. Or not. Maybe this is also part of her power. Maybe she has a way of, how do I put this? The easy answer is just feed Denji to it, whole and alive. Then he turns into Chainsaw Man and kills it from the inside out. They have to kill it because they can't just, leave. That's not okay. They need to kill this devil. They are devil hunters. Also, because it's so obscenely powerful, I imagine it most likely has that part of the gun devil in it. So I guess the answer is, did she fully snap? I mean, she did drink toilet water, but that could have also just been a pragmatic thing. Either that, or maybe she just needed to rest in order to, store up some energy to use whatever skill she has. I think that's gotta be it. It's gotta be that she hasn't snapped, but this is this is a plan she's come up with that involves Denji being eaten in order to kill this devil. Anyways, like as for what technique it is, like most of the others have like some connection to a devil, but I don't want that to be her thing. I want it to be something else, like something very unique. But I guess it would also like there are no other supernatural powers in this universe apart from the devils. So it probably is some sort of weird contract with the devil she has. I just can't think of what it could be. Anyways, pretty average chapter of Chainsaw Man. Not my favorites, but it was good. Probably Food Wars above, maybe? Above or below Food Wars? Just based on my snap judgment, below. Alright, next is The Last Sayuki, Chapter 5. So Ryunosuke's friend has, his box has been opened up. Bad things are happening. Or no, it isn't actually. I just realized it isn't open, but it's like cracking. It's at the seams, shattering. So I assume what's going to happen is that Koharu just has to like fully open it. Oh, normally we treat him with psychotherapy and slowly reduces fear, but it's too late for that when the fear has become that big. Okay, that does make sense. Also, Pinky-chan. Hmm. I thought most of the credits or like I thought most of the people working on these series were using their like actual names. I mean, I guess that could be an actual name, but it feels like a nickname. That is really cool though. Like it shows both that there is an option for, if they don't if they can't do it themselves, like just give them some therapy. If they go to therapy, their their fear will dissipate, it'll all be fine. But if they can't do that, then they have to destroy the Mo. Or they have to open up the Mo and then destroy the monster inside. That's awesome, because it also means that like Koharu has a legitimate purpose that isn't just being a scary, dangerous character. Like she has a skill that can help other people. This is awesome. Like we finally have, the mutual trust and a mutual goal that they can both work towards. The story is about the monster Niriharian. I'm gonna tell you about this monster's strengths and weaknesses. Right. That also makes sense. Like as long as they know where the monster came from, then they can establish an actual like these are the monster's strengths, these are monster's weaknesses. Like, okay, this is a really cool setup for the series going forward. Because it also means it can be any type of monster. Like it could be something very abstract, like, the fear of being in the dark. Or it could be like actual, like, well-known mythological creatures. That's also really cool. Like, yeah, they all differ depending on which game or manga it's in. So it has to be the Niriharian from that specific story, not just like an amalgamation of random traits of Niriharian. Also, I know that's not how you pronounce it. It's just I can never pronounce it properly. It's Nurarion. Is it Nurarion? Ah. It's also like it's not spelled the way any other normal Japanese word is spelled. Because like it was originally a normal Japanese word, but then they like due to just like the way it was passed down, a random extra syllable was added in. I think it's the re here. So just fundamentally, it's an annoying name that no one likes. Okay. There's only one story that has the potential to do that. This Scripture of Darkness is a collection of scary stories. It's so dangerous that you don't even have to read a word. You just have to look at it. The Tales of Momo. Okay. So we've got sort of a chapter black thing going on too. Like I imagine the villains then have like at least a copy of the Tales of Momo. Oh, also I've defeated the Nurharian from the Tales of Momo before. Okay. So this could be very easy then. So she's floating, he sees it, his Mo is opening up. Boom, Nurharian. That's really cool too. Like that means that if they are from, if they're always from the Tales of Momo, then the mangaka can, come up with a new, specific, interesting design for each of them. But if he wants to, he could just kind of, quote unquote, slack off and just use a version from, another manga or a version. I mean, it might be a bit too meta if he does it from like a Shueisha series, but I could see him being like, hey, this specific version happens to be, very popular in Tokyo right now. Or it happens to be, popular because of this movie, quote unquote, and then they use a fake name for the movie. Like, this is a really interesting setup. Okay. There's no way it can be caught because you can't touch it. Its ability makes humans and the weapons they wield pass right through it. So, I mean, this is a really high level thing to fight then. Like, if they can't use the Noribo on it, how else do they fight it? Oh, okay. In order for the Nyorharian to be able to attack, it has to suspend its own ability while doing so. So as soon as it attacks, you counter. I really appreciate the impact of this strike too. Like, this mangaka is really good at maybe not selling the actual fights, but selling like impactful moments. Like the same thing with, hitting that home run in chapter 4. Oh, I didn't like I thought it was him like using the Nyoibo, but I couldn't tell how specifically because he was blocking with it. But okay, no, it was from the other room. That's super cool. Damn. Like the Nyoibo, especially the way that this mangaka is treating it, is a really cool weapon. Like it is a handheld weapon that is also inherently a ranged weapon. Okay, and so now he just straight up knows. Aww. And he's saying it right in front of her, too. I'm proud of my little sister. Kaharu's really kind. She seems timid, but she's got a lot of courage, too. She even saved me. Aww. Ah, so wholesome. I love it. She's got her first new friends. Okay. If it's left open, every time he has a fear of something, a monster will keep materializing. So I must now return Shige's mode to its previous states. Okay, It looks like a Rubik's Cube. But the spirit manifesting out of it looks sort of like a Magatama. Interesting. Like, also, this eye makes it look kind of like a penguin, sort of? Curious. This is neat, though. Like, I like that we're very slowly setting up how each arc is going to play out. Also, I guess, are they going to have to steal his Mo, too? I guess not. Because, like, having his Mo open is what allows him to perceive monsters. But then it feels, I guess he just has to be fearless all the time, but that's not a thing human beings can do. He's going to have fears, every now and then. I mean, I assume there is a concrete answer for how this is going to work, and I just have to wait for the next chapter, but I don't know. I really like that the series is very slowly dripping this down. That by the end of the first volume, we'll have finally, put everything into place. We'll have a status quo. But even then, I kind of hope that we keep on adding things and changing things, because the series so far has been really, really good, and I really like the feeling of exploring this brand new world in a way that a lot of other series don't really make me feel. Like, even if it is a big fantasy world, usually I'm like, I don't really care that much about this. Whereas The Last Sayuki has really made me care about the lore of it. So, good chapter. Gonna put that bad boy right, maybe below Black Clover. Like, it was a good chapter, but it was also very much a it was a lore dump / transition chapter. So not the greatest, but still pretty good. Alright, next is Yui Kamio Let's Loose, Chapter 4. This is Ebby with your recap for the week. I like that we have had a fairly serial story since Chapter 2. Chapter 2 neatly flowed into Chapter 3, and then Chapter 3 obviously flowed into Chapter 4. Okay, how is this going down, though? I mean, I can't imagine Yui's going to lose, so how else do we have stakes here? Alright, Chapter 4, Prima Donna Punch-Outs. Okay, so that's the gag of this chapter. They're just destroying priceless artifacts. Everything at our school is pretty expensive, right? Oh no, he's gonna have to pay for all of this. Well then. But, I guess that's the big problem. Like, the fight won't end until he puts the chain on. But also, presumably, he's going to want to put the chain on while dragging her out of the area so people don't see her transform. Heavy, give me strength! I mean, I guess, did it work, though? Did it? Oh, I guess the problem here, though, is, you can clearly tell it's not as well tied as anything else. It's just kind of hanging on. You didn't actually tie it. Yeah, it wasn't even hanging on. It was just, loosely wrapped around her hair. But to be fair, it's also, it's a chain. It's an actual metal chain. I don't know how I would tie a bow with using a metal chain. Okay. I learned an important new technique when I chose the path of the popular girl. I trained intensively in Shibuya. The like totally delinquent trendy octopus holds. What? What? I worked so hard to be trendy enough to pull this move off. Why? I don't understand. How does this work? What does being trendy have to do with it? Well, I guess he's gotta save Yui then. I honestly did not think that Yui's going to ever, like, be physically matched. Like, I thought that was going to be the gag. But this is pretty cool in its own right. It's insta-worthy. Every insta is an instance of my revenge. God, that's a good pun, too. That's a good pun that works in English. Oh my god. Did she do it on purpose? Like, did she let herself be taken down because she wanted the pictures to look good? Okay, so in the end, he wasn't even the one who did the tying, it was just Ebby again. I do hope we get, like, a training arc, though, where he does have to, like, learn how to tie it over and over and over again until he manages to do it perfectly. Like, obviously, Evie is always going to be the best one to do it because, she's done it her entire life, but still. Alright, that was a pretty good chapter. Like, it didn't have a lot of what I liked in chapters 2 and 3, which is honestly just the stuff with, I guess it is just the fact that it was mostly just the girls without a lot of Kito. Like, I like him the most. I think he's the funniest character, and it's fun when, it's him reacting to what's going on. But when it was just the two girls, it was mostly just a fight, which was not that interesting. Like, I definitely prefer the comedy of the series to the fighting. But I do like the tone that the series is going for. Hopefully it hits a better balance going forward. But right now, definitely a below average chapter. Yeah, honestly, not as good as Actage, so that goes right at the very bottom this week. Alright, well, that was the entire non-livestream segment. Next is the livestream segments. Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is the live stream portion of Weekly Shonen Jump. Here we are starting off with We Never Learn, chapter 105. This is the big page announcing that We Never Learn is in fact getting not that it's getting an anime, but that the anime is coming out this season, which I am extremely excited about. The studio that's doing it isn't really known for a lot of like ultra high quality anime, but I think it's fine. Like We Never Learn doesn't have to have an amazing budget. It is like primarily a rom-com. Everyone looks pretty good. This is like the manga coloring for Furuhashi though. Like anime Furuhashi definitely has more blue in her hair. So, that's weird. Especially because like if you look here, I'm fairly sure that this is supposed to be the anime design for the main character of Demon Slayer and then the anime design. So it's kind of odd that they wouldn't use just the pure anime designs for the We Never Learn girls. In any case, let's get right into this. Okay. I really hope this is just another Narayuki chapter, like another Narayuki figuring out what he's doing with his life chapter. Okay, I decided what university, and... oh boy. This is some abject, intense poverty. Like, oh boy. But, so his sister is the one who is, like, looking at him suspiciously. So is she going to reach out to one of the girls? Also, hey, Zaku. By the way, I am currently drinking Pilsner Raquel by Homie's suggestion, so I am not feeling the greatest. Or rather, I'm feeling really good. My problem is that my articulation is not what it should be. By the way, I also know this is super duper ultra late, so hopefully I'll fill up this 1/2 hour with We Never Learn and then you can go to bed, because that's all you need to see. I mean, this is a pretty good ship. I am a big fan of all the, like, pseudo-Yuri ships that we have so far. Thank you, Damage. Thank you for the forgiveness. I am a big fan of all these pseudo-Yuri ships and We Never Learn. I don't think any of them will truly happen, which sucks, but I am a big fan of harem series where, like, once the main couple is decided, everyone else doesn't just pair off with, like, random people, but they pair off with characters that are actually really fun. Or, like, characters where it makes sense for them to be paired off with them. And the neat thing with We Never Learn is that there aren't a whole lot of, like, incidental male characters. It's mostly female characters, which makes me feel like once the series is over, we could get a lot of incidental Yuri ships. I doubt it'll happen, but still, you can dream, right? Okay, he comes home late these days. He seems exhausted. So, I mean, Clearly, she has the wrong idea already. All I can think of is that Erica is going to somehow make it a lot worse. It's just I don't know how she could make this any worse than it already is. Okay, I don't know if it's okay for to ask, but hmm? Oh, is she coming over? Okay, okay. Oh, wait, no, it's the other way. It's the other way around. He went to the Takimoto households. Okay. Ah, are you a god? Hmm. Okay. So this is a good moment. How is she going to pounce on him though? Or rather, is she going to? Like, we still have the drama about her going to Australia. So how is this going to tie into it? Oh, is it not? Oh, actually, is this the correct? There, does that look better? I have two separate things now for Weekly Shonen Jump, and then when I specifically do the redirects. I think I was using the redirect version just there. Okay, awesome. Is this based on a real comedy duo? Okay. Oh boy, it's footsies. Hmm. Oh boy, that is extremely lewd. Like that is outright just giving a foot job, is it not? I mean, that's a pretty high class move now that I think about it. I've never done that kind of thing before with someone else's foot, but I can't say I wouldn't want to. Yeah, you're not imagining it. It's happening. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things you can do with a foot where it's like it's kind of lewd, but it's most likely an accident. Like anything that involves one foot is almost certainly an accident. But this, like, there's no way to do this accidentally. Especially because she's like wrapping her toes around his foot. Wait, what? Okay. Foot to foot pressure point massage. That's not quite what I was expecting. Is she trying to kill him? Ah, okay, that's what she was doing. I thought she had like a different ulterior motive, but I guess that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. So, getting toasty in the Katatsu, de-stressing with a funny video. Pots are pot stickers a thing that makes you energetic though? Like I've always thought of pot stickers as like, it's the lazy food. It's the food that sticks to your stomach and makes you feel real fat and real lazy. Okay, so we're actually getting to it. At the very start of the chapter, it was very clear he wasn't able to tell them what he truly wanted to do about university. So, how is he gonna like? How is he gonna break it to him? I mean, he'd have to like. He could technically take a year off just to like save up money, but I don't think that's what we're getting at here. Okay, so makes sense. I don't remember though. Was she getting a full ride abroad as well? I guess it's not really a money thing. It's mostly just the fact that she is a sole girl on her own being sent to Australia. Like that in itself is, it's kind of worrying. If I were her mom or dad, I would probably be pretty worried about that. Hmm. In this world, some things are too much for kids to do on their own. That's why we have to count on adults sometimes, appreciate them with undying gratitude, and later pay them back twice over. Yeah, that's actually a really good lesson to be like giving the target audience, especially in a very like um in a culture like Japan where you can have that, where you can have kids that get absolutely crushed with the stress of like, oh no, I have to pay this back to my parents. I have to not disappoint them. I think that is a good note of like, hey, you just have to accept some gratitude and, eventually pay them back in the future when you have a job. Wait, what? You want to be an educator like your dad? I don't remember if it's the beer or if it's just like not knowing the series. I know the series. I've read the entire series, but I don't remember his dad being a teacher. Wait a minute, really? So I remember him saying that specifically. I didn't think that was his dad, though. Was it not a different teacher? Okay, in order for you to be happy, you really have to let others care for you too. Ah, this is a genuinely super touching moment. It doesn't. I wouldn't have paired Nari like I wouldn't have paired Urika with this thought process though. Like I guess there is the fact that she's going to a university that is very very not in Japan, but still. Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay, that's an extreme power move. Especially because again, she's like he's definitely not going to a university in Australia. So she's outright saying like I'm going to another country, but I will also pay for your education if I need to. Also, man, her what kind of what is this? Like is this supposed to be her underwear, like, peeking through her pants, or are we saying that, like, these are just entirely her pants? Because it feels like the material here is different than the material here. Though it could just be like this material's stretched and therefore it is, like, lighter. I guess it is all meant to be the same material. I might just be, like, overthinking that one. Okay, he's finally gonna do it. Wait, what? Wait, why? Why? How? For what purpose? How did this happen? How did Sensei get involved? I mean, I guess we've gone 2 or 3 chapters without some Sensei, so we kind of have to include more of her. She is the number 1 girl right now. But first of all, why would she be showering in his house? I assume the explanation is going to be that she came over in order to, like, tell his parents what he wants to do in the future, because she is the guidance counselor. That makes the most sense. That also allows both of them to break it to his parents, like, together. But then why is she washing herself? You know what? It's probably something as simple as, like, she spilled tea all over herself by accident, so she had to take a quick shower before he got home. That's probably it. Anyways, that was We Never Learn. Good chapter. Really, oh boy, that is not the correct tab. We Never Learn is, all right, see ya, Straight Banana. Sorry for the super duper ultra late stream. Please check the archives later. I'm gonna put We Never Learn right below Neolation. I think Neolation was legitimately a better chapter this time around. I also did rank the beer I'm drinking right now because, I don't know, it seemed like a good idea at the time. In hindsight, that was probably stupid. But anyways, we are moving on from We Never Learn to One Piece, chapter 938, A Woman's Secrets. That's an interesting title. On the cover, we have Birds Sandbathing in Crocodile Sand by Purple Panda. I mean, I feel like this is some sort of kink, but I can't quite place it. Like, this does seem inappropriate. Right? Am I wrong? I don't know, especially because, like, they're bursting out of his flesh. It's not like he's creating a pool of sand for them to bathe in. It's more like they're just, like, chest bursting through him. It feels real weird. Also, I don't know why he would. Why? Why? Anyways, I guess we'll move on. So, okay, what was happening? It's Wano. Zoro's at the bridge. He was fighting the fake outlaw that was, being sent by Orochi to kill not Otahime. God, what is her name? Komurasaki. Komurasaki and Otoko, or was it just Komurasaki? Well, no. Orochi thinks Komurasaki is dead, so I guess he was being sent out to kill Otoko, and he just also learned that Komurasaki was alive. Okay. Oh my god, Zoro passing out from that little blood loss? That feels very not like Zoro. Like, was this a poisoned blade? Okay, so we're just leaving it there. Okay. Okay, oh, that's right. So, yes, we learned at the bathhouse that they do know about the Mark of the Moon, which is the most important part. Like, the flyers, not really that necessary. Like, everyone who needs to get a flyer right now probably has a flyer. But the tattoos, like, you really can't cover those up. Okay. Based on the reports, it would seem that our cohorts in the capital are being apprehended by Kaido and Roshi's forces. Okay, well, this is definitely taking a turn for the worse. Like before, the ideal was to get 10,000 samurai, right? And currently, even with this plan working out perfectly, they would have only gotten like 1,000. So now we're cutting that down even further. Like, they're gonna need a miracle to get this to happen properly. Okay. Oh, Komurasaki's wake is can't. Really? It hasn't even been a day, though. Ah. Oh, okay. So it's not because, like, they got a report or anything about her. It's specifically just because, like, oh, her wake would be so devastating in terms of all the people that would come out to, take a look at her. Yeah, like, going back to what Kinemon was saying here, he's like, I thought, like he chose this coded symbol on the off chance that it fell into unintended hands. Like, He's saying that as if it would make sense, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Like, once you know the symbol, you know the symbol. Like, does that make any sense? It's just like anything that involves, especially like tattoos, is extremely dangerous. If it's at the very least like, a ring or some sort of like item that you have, at the very least you can change that on the fly. But that's oof. So I do like I am still on the bandwagon of Boss Kyoshiro being an ally. Like, especially because, obviously there can't be a wake because he didn't kill her, because she is still alive. There is no body to show. And the funeral is, most likely going to be closed caskets. Also, it's interesting that he has one of these. Like, it might just be that, he picked it off of someone who was apprehended, but it could also be like, this is the one he picked up for himself. You don't know. Oh, geez, is that Sanji? I mean, he's borderline unrecognizable apart from the swirly eyebrow. Yeah, how does a human face get punched to make that shape? It's so grotesque. This is the worst form that Sanji's ever taken. I mean, I don't know who would have leaked the information then. Like, if we're supposed to be able to guess it, I'm gonna say that we can't guess it. I'm gonna say it's someone we haven't seen, or it's someone where like the twists are so deeply hidden that it would be impossible to figure it out. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. We did see him notice it when he cut down Komurasaki. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Well, this is the correct page, right? Yes. Jeez. Shinobu's actually being legitimately, like, very practical, very pragmatic. I'm so used to her being not a great image. Zaku. Like, I'm so used to her not being a very ninja-like ninja. So it is nice to get her, genuinely serious. Like, I feel like that's the thing in One Piece in general. Like, you get the wacky character who is super goofy, who has a great gimmick, and then at some point in the arc, they get real serious, and you get to see that, yeah, like, they do have multiple sides. They aren't just a gimmick. I'm glad we're getting that this early on for Shinobu. That is true. Like, if they make an enemy out of the Heart Pirates or the Straw Hats, like, they're done. They're absolutely done. Oh, it's the psychopath? What was his name? Like someone who serves others. I don't remember his actual name. Is that Shinobu and Kanjuro? Okay. Okay, so he's on our side. I guess the big question then is like, was he accidentally helping Zoro, or was it just completely like, was it planned out from the start? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm sure, like, I'm really happy that we are getting this much Zoro focus. I really do want to understand what's going on with him. Like, is this all stuff that he learned from his dojo, or is there something deeper there? Also, I'm really glad that this is Zoro and not Sanji. Sanji would just continue to die here if he had Komurasaki waiting on him. I mean, is there is the potential that this will just be where Zoro is for the next day or two. Like, that would be a good way to keep him out of things for a little bit while the rest of the plot moves along until it catches up. Oh, okay, okay. So he did keep the cursed sword. Hmm. Yeah, who are you folks? Why do you have the Grim Reaper chasing after you? Aw, Hotoko, I think it's a funny joke. Oh? You look like a no-good nobleman. Oh, or is it nobleman or nobleman? I'm looking for my older brother. We were separated 20 years ago. Oh my god. Okay, it's happening. It's actually happening. Yes, so she is Hiyori. Okay, that's good. I mean, even so, I mean, we still have the potential for a double twist. Yeah, Otsuko was correcting herself. Okay, okay. I mean, first of all, this could just be a straightforward, yes, she is in fact Hiyori. There's also the possibility that Otoko is Hiyori. Like, both of those are equally possible. I don't think we need to have a double twist. It could absolutely just be, it could just be that she is in fact, especially because she is the most beautiful person in Wano. Like, it makes sense that she would be super duper ultra standout, and that she slept her way to a position of power. I could see that happening. But it depends on what happens. Like, was she really separated 20 years ago and then, she lived out her life in Wano ever since? Or was she also sent forward in time by her mom? Because if Lady Toki sent her forward 20 years, then she could be Otoko. Or she could be, Uh, Otama? Was it Otama? The girl we saw at the very starts. Like, that's still very much a possibility. And we did have her specifically lay down her line and completely blow her cover in order to save Toko, which would make sense if she was supposed to be like, her retainer for some reason, as opposed to actually being Hiyori. But there's also the very real possibility that she's just a nice person now, and that she laid down her line for her life for her friends. The power of friendship is a real thing. Like, I don't want to discount that for the sake of a twist. So for now, I'm going to say, yeah, it's most likely she is in fact Hiyori. Like, I'll take it at face value for now. Ah, I really do appreciate how pretty she looks. Like, early on, she definitely had the Nami face, but I think she has a more distinct face here, especially. Like, especially like the upturned eyes. They're distinctive. Overall, good chapter. Not my favorites. Pretty alright. I still think this is very strange. Strange cover. I don't know why Purple Panda suggested this. Overall, though, yeah, it's an alright chapter. Like, if I had to rank it, which I do, I would stick it below Higuma, probably. Maybe below Black Clover. Would I put it below the last Sayuki, though? I would. It was good. I kind of, well, while we do have the possibility of Zoro just being out of things for a little bit, I do want to continue doing his thing. Like, because this is Wano. It is the the big arc that everyone thought would involve a lot of Zoro. I don't want him to be Sanji'd in this arc. Or, I mean, Sanji got a lot of focus near the end of Whole Cake Island, but still, like, I want him to have slightly more focus than Sanji did. Though I don't think that'll happen because it is One Piece. It's modern One Piece. We have like 50 things going on. Anyways, that is One Piece. Next is The Promised Neverland, chapter 129. Okay, so last time we had the big old breakdown. Emma finally laid down her line and she was like, yeah, you know what? I want to save the demons. And your plan is clearly flawed. I don't know how I'll make my plan happen, but I have the moral imperative here. Like, even if your plan is the most logical, it doesn't mean that it is the one that makes the most sense. But I can still understand this. Like, even though she told Norman, like, hey, you don't have to be a god, it's real hard to tell someone that they don't have to be a god when they have literal crowds of human beings, of children who are worshiping, not worshiping him as if he was a god, but like, they treat him like a god. They treat him like Jesus. I mean, I'm not saying he has a god complex, but I understand why he has all that pressure put upon him. Now, is this connected? Like, is he walking down to this place, or is this just a flashback to the farm? I assume it's just a flashback to the farm, but you never know. It's like these are all labeled 01. These guys are labeled 02. The demons, these just seem to be like big cancerous lumps here. Whereas these are like dismembered body parts. I think that's supposed to be like an intestine. What is happening here? Like, this person clearly has like a mutated leg. There's blood coming out of their nether regions. I guess they are just like, various experiments. Like, there's nothing I can truly pull out of this. Though it is weird that all the 01s are here when there's a gate here specifically for the 02s. All right. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Who is this? My immediate thought was that it's probably Gilon, but no, it isn't. Gilon definitely looked lumpier, but to be fair, he was also wearing clothing. So who is this? God, oh boy. I do appreciate that, like, we saw this, which is very much an atrocity committed upon humans by demons, and now we're seeing this, which is also very much an atrocity. Like, Norman definitely has he's got more sin on his hands. He's got a lot to wash off. It looks like they've mostly just used these various things to impale him / keep him in one place, though. Like, I'm not seeing anything where, like, they're taking samples out of him. It looks like, I guess these are, like, just straight out, they've been stabbing him to, like, let out some rage. But none of the others seem to have any particular purpose, apart from just, restraining him. Okay. One is that they don't want to annihilate the demons. Okay, so he is outright just straight up telling them. which is interesting. Like, it's showing that he does care about his new group of followers. Like, they are now his, his Ray and Emma. Like, he cares about them enough that he won't hide things from them just for the sake of appeasing his former friends. Not that Ray and Emma told him to hide any of this, but still. Like, the fact that he's willing to be that open about it shows that he trusts them inherently. Okay, the evil-blooded girl's alive, and they all know about her, so interesting. She's met Emma and the others. They're friends. So I could see that. Like, it's convenient in the sense that they could potentially lure her out and then kill her, but it's inconvenient because they're gonna make enemies of Emma and Ray and the others. Oh my god. Okay, so Barbara flashbacks. I mean, I can absolutely appreciate this. It's that immediate thought of like, yeah, that she's been suffering this her entire life, like ever since she was much younger. It looks like. Like, why would she have a single bone in her body that with, even an ounce of sympathy towards the demons? I appreciate how radicalized she is. How radicalized all of them are, honestly. Like, I'm not totally sure what the end game is going to be, which I love because there's so much that they could do. And like, this is definitely a metaphor for things in the human world, in the real worlds that don't have very easy answers. Oh, why does the sky have panels? I did not. Oh, you know what? Was she? Was she in a like an underground farm, kind of like Goldie Pond? I mean, Goldie Pond wasn't a farm, but Goldie Pond also had the same thing going on in certain shots where you could see like panels where it was very clear that it was meant to simulate like an actual sky. That oh wow, thanks for pointing that out, SSJ, because we don't really know what the other farms are like. I think most of the fandom has assumed like just imagine Grace Fields, like imagine the part layouts like Grace Fields, but then put that somewhere else. But to be fair, we don't know what they're like even without getting to the experimental farm. Also, that would actually explain how it would be that Luvis was able to get like that paneling for Goldie Ponds. Like if there are places in the demon world that sell this kind of thing, if you can go to like Demon Home Depot and get sky paneling, that makes a lot more sense than him like knowing super science or him getting the only sky paneling in the entire world. It makes sense if it's just something else that he could have either stolen or just bought. Probably just bought. Oh, it's okay. So it's not just that she's angry. It's not just that she's freaking out. Like, it's an actual. I mean, it could be just she's freaking out and this is a psychological issue, but is it part of her experimentation? Ah, the interval between them's gone short in the past few days for all of us. Okay, so they all get these attacks. Hmm. Here, I didn't think this was Sislo. It could be, especially because we do cut from these flashbacks to Sislo specifically looking at Barbara with her, hands on her head. But I didn't think that was Sislo. I assumed it was just a random other character, kind of like these ones. But okay. Like, I'm super curious to see what happened to them specifically. We know that they've all been augmented. That Barbara most likely has some sort of super strength. Actually, to be fair, we don't know that. It was implied because she was able to, to just hand to hand some demons, or not even hand to hand. She was using that big club thing, but we assumed she was very strong. To be fair, the only one we know of who has actual defined super strength is Zazie, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so it's probably Sislo. But yeah, the only one with actual like defined super strength, as far as I know, is supposed to be Zazie. And Zazie, like, we don't know whether Zazie is mutated or potentially a demon. Wait, what? At first, I thought this was her being brainwashed to like demons, and she needs the meds to keep hating them. But then I thought the idea was stupid. I mean, I can understand how you would look at that and think of that. Okay, yeah, sure, but that would be extremely different. I definitely don't think that's correct. Ah, she did break the table by stepping on it. Okay, that is true. Yeah, like I do definitely think they all had, various mutations, but we don't know quite what each one is. That is true with Hayato though. And Adam, I mean Adam is the most obvious one. Adam does not look human. He looks like he is 99% muscle. So I completely buy that they have, various mutations. What could it be? Like it could just be, like an unintended side effect of the experimentation, but it could be something to do specifically with the brain. because we do know like demons like eating brains. It's very possible that their brains are, being designed to grow larger than they should or something. But yeah, this is an extremely effective panel. Like, yeah, this is what demons do. We're less than things and animals to them. That's a fact. This is what being a human means to the demons, damn it. Yeah, like I completely buy it. Like, as much as I don't agree with their thought process, sure, but I completely understand how they got there. I don't think it's wrong for them to, to hate demons. In the same way that I don't think it's wrong for, freedom fighters in some foreign part of the world to hate the West. Like, I think objectively that's not good. That's not okay. But like, I get how, your upbringing could lead you to that mindset, how you could become radicalized as a result of, trauma that happens in your childhood. Oh, these are some rough facial shots too, especially Vincent's. Like, uh, Zazi's is, just I do appreciate the amount of emotion I can get from Zazi's face though here, especially since we're not seeing the face, we're just seeing the bag. But the bag is surprisingly expressive. And then Sislo kind of looks like he's pooping, but Vincent has this great mix of the tiny little sweat drop and this nervousness almost of like, oh man, I hate that this is, our lot in life. I think that's a good face. Also, I'm very curious about Norman because I don't know what's going on with him. I'm very suspicious of the fact that he was able to break all of them out. I don't think he's working for the demons, but I am extremely suspicious of him. Like, especially if my theory is correct and Zazie is in fact a demon. Like, I feel like there's more going on with him, and I can't fully formulate a full theory, but there's just enough there to make me uneasy. They're nice kids. Even their naive nonsense makes me want to hurl. They're really great, seriously, but boss, you're on our side, right? Like, with where they are right now, where they have the potential to wipe out all demons. I mean, I don't think they do. I think their plan is not great, but still. Like, I can understand them being apprehensive. I can see why they would want demons to, why they would want Norman to make sure he's completely on their side, that they're going to do it, that he's not going to chicken foot out of this. True. Does Norman get these symptoms as well? Even if we did see him having those symptoms, which so far we haven't, but to be fair, this is the first time we've seen the symptoms at all. Even if we did see him, struggling, I could honestly, I could chalk that up to acting. That's how much I distrust him. I distrust him enough that even if we get objective proof that he has these panic attacks or these, these general attacks, I don't think we have a name for them. I would still think that he might be, faking it. All right, I've come this far. Of course, I'm not backing down. God, this shot is really cool too. Like, it's a perfect flip of all those various shots we've had of the demons harvesting human bodies. Here we see, like, what I assume is entirely demons. Like, these almost grape-like, like, eyeball stems here, obviously demon-made. The only ones that could be human at all would be, like, the fetuses, which I assume are just, very early-stage demons. Like, I doubt they're eating them, just because that feels very much like just a thing Barbara's into. The others don't seem like they're super into it, but I assume this is just research. This is them using demon corpses in order to find more weaknesses or to understand more about the demon physiology. That's true. I mean, yeah, like Norman is the food that only Gargablarg himself could consume, the food of God. And, even then he was being trained even further. He was going even further beyond. So I could definitely see a situation in which like Norman had, a week or two before he would be modified, and within those 2 weeks he, broke out. Like I could see that being a possibility. As much as suspicious as I am of Norman, at the same time, like I will give him the benefit of the doubt here. I will say that maybe, maybe he was treated like the rest, but he just managed to, figure out how to break free. Let's live with that for now. Oh, really? Norman also took pills as well, but we don't know what they were for. Okay, I did not, like, I may have seen the pills, but I didn't register that they were connected at all to this. Interesting, good take. Oh, okay. February 2047. Oh, they're still at Lambda here. Okay, so this is a flashback to, like, when they broke out. Ah, there's no information about what demons eat, how they change, how they regenerate, degenerate, and how they die. Your data is severely lacking. And that's why he started collecting them. Okay, okay. Also, like, this specific moment is extremely terrifying. Like, imagine working at, like, an actual farm full of animals. where you learn how to make, I don't know, better beef or something, and one day a cow just beats the crap out of everyone, commits a terrorist act, blows up your farm, walks up to you, shows you your various information on like how to properly butcher cows, and you're like, there's nothing here about how to butcher humans. Your information is severely lacking. There is something extremely terrifying about that. About the idea of something that you eat that you have completely dominated, rising up and, wanting to not even eat you, but just like wanting to berate you, saying that your knowledge of the world is not great. There's something very worrying about that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did have the pills. Okay, that's true. In the backgrounds. Let's see. Oh, you mean this guy? That looks like Jin. Vaguely. Oh my god. It's so weird seeing them like this, as clearly, just wounded, scared test subjects not knowing what's going on. God, Sissel's eyes are extremely strange. I like how Posca never draws them nicely. Like, they never feel right. They always have that unnerving feeling. Not wavering. I started everything I did with my own hands. All of this is something I have to bear. Yeah, so he's definitely not going along with Emma. That's true. Like, of all the characters to say that you have to make sacrifices, of course Norman would be like, the moment he was, he decided that he would be okay with being shipped out, that they wouldn't have to move up the escape to, to include him. In that moment, he clearly decided, like, yeah, you can't win them all. The fact that he was not immediately eaten is entirely, like, based on chance. There's no way the kids could have known that. It was completely a fluke. Oh my god. Oh my god. In order to do so, I will gladly become a god or a devil, Emma. Jeez. I mean, we've had so many incredible images in The Promised Neverland, and I think this is like, oh boy. I wouldn't call it like, a top 10 image, but at all, definitely not, but it's very evocative. I mean, I'm not behind Norman by any stretch of the imagination, but I get it. I'm not going to be mad at him for doing what he's done. I understand his rationale. And I especially understand his rationale as it relates to the other breakout kids. Or do we have a name for this group? I guess just, Norman's gang. Oh, okay, let's do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I see this is ambiguous. Is this 5 and 6, or is this 5 and then a bit of shadow? Like there is that old theory we had with Adam back in Goldie Pond where it's like, oh, has he even like merged with a demon or something? Like I don't think we're quite hanging on that, but I could see it like in a metaphorical sense. Like maybe like I mean clearly he is working with a demon at least. He's working with what is his name? Fat Lord Boy, who I'm pretty sure is not this guy, right? Definitely not. I mean, obviously not, because Fat Lord Guy is, he has not attacked the other royal family yet, so of course it's not him. This is just another demon, I assume. Of course, we refer to the new group as Norman's real friends. But yeah, I could see this being like a very subtle hint that, maybe Norman is, working with the demons on a more fundamental level. I do genuinely think that the way he broke out, like the fact that he was able to break out of, the experimental farm is very suspicious. Like maybe he did get help from demons. Maybe there's something else going on there. Who knows? Yeah, Gilon had a spider mouth. I mostly thought about it just because he was big. Like even though he doesn't have the same shape, it was still like, well, maybe they've been starving him. But no, Gilon was definitely more insectoid. All right, so that was a fantastic chapter of The Promised Neverlands. Like for the last, I'd say 2 months or so, I've been very pro Emma and Ray, very pro idealism. I think this was a good chapter, not to like downplay the idealism of the series, but to say like, hey, here's the other side. This is how they feel. This is what they, not even what they went through. We saw a little of what they went through, but like, this is their mindset, and I understand it. I disagree with them, but I understand it. In terms of chapter rankings, I would put that, feel honestly, it is better than the Pilsner Urquell. Let's put that right on top. Because it was better than Neolation. Neolation was really good this week, but and like they're both very emotional chapters. They're both chapters that are very, character focused, but I think this one has more of a like more of a world focus, more of a like, here is this big thing we've been building up all this time. Let's humanize them. Let's show you their side of the story. Even if you're not supposed to agree with them, here is everything that makes them tick. And I think that's really powerful. I'm really glad that Kaya Shirai and Posuke were able to like illustrate and bring that to life in a moving, meaningful way. Oh no, it's not a new series. Right before this, I did a video talking about this beer, which is called Pilsner Urquell, and I decided for some reason, even though this is not part of the Weekly Shonen Jump video, it's going to be a separate video. I decided to rank it here anyways. Anyways, that is, yes, I'm pretty sure I did everything, right? I'm pretty sure I did. Hmm. Oh, right, Dr. Stone is, I'm pretty sure it just is not out, right? Like I checked before, it wasn't here. It's also not in the chapter schedule, so I guess it must just be on break for a week. Yeah. So I guess we'll just move on. Not hitting Dr. Stone. Um, we have My Hero Academia. I'll give everyone 5 seconds before I move on to My Hero Academia, though. My Hero Academia, chapter 222. What is going on here? Oh, Kaiju Deku. Wait, no, that still doesn't explain anything. Why is this happening? Like, why Kaiju Deku? Is this the movie? Is this the next My Hero Academia movie? Yeah, and before I begin, I do want to say to the Pills Are Here one, I do appreciate any series that can show both sides of a conflict. I don't mean that in the sense of, both sides are right, because especially now, like, in the modern day, I think we can say some sides are not correct. But I do appreciate any series that can show both sides and make you care about them, slash, at the very least, like, understand the mindset behind that side, instead of just having them be a brick wall. But yes, the more I look at Kaiju Deku, the less I understand this. Wait a minute, what? There's a copyright here from Toho. So is this actually like, what? Because I assumed it was a Mothra, parody, sure, but they wouldn't have put the copyright here if it wasn't actually meant to be connected to Toho Studios at all. What is this? What does this mean? I don't know. Is this one of Deku's 7 quirks? If there's a quirk that just turns Deku into Mothra, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind. Wait, why? Why is Ida crying over this? I don't understand. What is happening? What is this cover? Okay, if anyone knows what this cover is, especially why they specifically like shouted out to Toho here, why they put the copyright there, please let me know. I'm so confused. I might have to actually check Caleb Cook's Twitter in order to understand that. Oh, that's right. Okay, so we were doing some Shigaraki backstory. Before this came out, by the way, I did get an email from Viz saying that this was going to be a spooky Shigaraki story. So I am looking out for some spookiness. I'm looking for some ghosts or something. Whereas like this just kind of looks like, his father reaching out his hand while while Shimura kills him. Oh, okay. So he actually doesn't remember. Like, is that due to All for One's influence? It could be. Like, it could just be, trauma. Sure. Especially since from the shot we saw before, when All for One met him, he was a very young child, which makes sense. Like maybe he just didn't know things in the past. But that also opens up the possibility of All for One like implanting false memories in him or something. When I equip everyone all over me, my rage just boils over. I can't help it. Okay. I do hope we learn a little more about like what is going on with these hands. Like it is a cool aesthetic thing, and I like that they've been consistent with what they seem to mean to him. That he does, he does refer to them as the people that they are, or that they came from. But I'd like to know a tiny bit more. No one came to save you. That must have hurt, right, Tenko Shimura? How scared you must have been. Ah. Like, I want to know specifically how he was able to find him. Like, did he set something up? Like, knowing All for One, I assume this is all a setup. But it might not be, and if it isn't, that's even more insane. Ah, the famous "I am here." The evil "I am here." Okay, and we got, Spinner reaction. I'm still waiting for something cool from Spinner. Like, we saw that moment of Spinner noticing something last chapter. It better pay off. I want to like Spinner. I want Spinner to be a good boy. Okay. So we hadn't seen this part before. So he actually moved in with All for One. This is what remains of your family. A rare variant quirk manifested within you, one we've never seen before. Okay. Wait, what? Wait, what is this? Like, he's touching himself with all of his fingers. That should have destroyed him then, right? Do you remember? So that looks like, oh boy, I really need to zoom in for this one. So that is, I think, someone's face being smashed into something. Then this is a straight up just a girl, maybe his sister, maybe just a classmate. This is what looks like either him looking away or maybe his mother looking away. Then the scary eyes. It looks kind of like Crocodile from One Piece. I assume this must be his father then. Some sort of, is this a spear? It looks like a spear. Oh, he has gloves. Okay, so, huh. So I guess it might just be like the overwhelming mental strain that is causing him to freak out and vomit. Yeah, okay, okay, I see it. Why am I zoomed in? Oh, whoops. Sorry. Okay. Even without your memories, I expect those feelings to remain in your heart. As your master, I will teach you how to take those feelings, that frustration, and give it purpose. But even there, I mean, I assume that it is like, that's just his life. He did, suffer a lot. He really did like lose his memories. But I'm putting in like a 1% or 2% chance that All for One messed with his memories. Like, it's something he would do, but I don't think he needed to do it here. Okay, so at the hmm, how many hands are those though? One, two, three, maybe four, five, six, seven. Oh, this is an eighth one. So has he only ever had 8 hands on him? Like, is it just the entire family? Also, that's a big family now that I think about it. Huh. So when I have the whole family on me, I feel so sick that I want to vomit, but I also feel kind of at peace. It's weird. Hmm. Okay. Oh, that scar on Shigarak's face is because of that spear in the flashback panel. Okay, yeah, because it is a bloody spear. Oh my god, okay. Huh. Jeez, this is real good. It also does explain why he acts so irrationally when he's in full villain mode. Like, it's not just that he's dumb. Like, he is a little like, I don't even want to say dumb. He's inexperienced. But part of it's also that, like, when he has all the hands on him, he is genuinely like filled with emotion. Like, it actually does mess him up a bit. Like, every time he's done something really dumb, it's been because he has all of these mixed emotions welling up inside of him. They do look like grown-up hands. That is true. Oh, you know what I just realized? People do have 2 hands. So I guess this could be 4 people. I assumed it was 1 hand per person. But yeah, now that I'm looking at it, like, this is clearly a right hand. This is a left hand. So I guess it is 4 people. Never mind. I was just under the impression that it was 1 hand per person. But that said, like, if this girl is related to him, assuming this girl is one of those people, she should definitely have smaller hands, right? To be fair, that's not necessarily true. Like, this could just be like a classmate or something that walked in. But even then, I guess that would mean that he would have to be like very young, and his other siblings would have had to have been older. Or I guess he could have had a situation where like he had a dad and also a stepdad in the same house, maybe? That is very possible. Like, I'm willing to take any inconsistency that shows up here and take that as, evidence of All for One messing with him. That said, though, I do want these hands to be important. Like, it could have been not. I just had the idea of like, what if 2 of those are Nana's hands? Because she would have been big enough, but then he would have also had to have preserved her hands specifically all this time until right now. That seems a bit too much. Oh no, Zaku. Oh no. Ah, that's a bad visual. I don't want to know where those child hands are. I I can't get over this though. Like I do love it. I will move forward, but I do appreciate that we have context now. We understand why he's so mad all the time. Like, I'm not saying that it retroactively makes him more understandable. I'm not saying it makes him a better villain, but it makes him more understandable. Ah, even this hero society comes crashing down, even if I rise to rule the underworld, that weight in my heart is never gonna go away. I do appreciate that. Like, again, it's not something I understand quite, but I get it. Like, I get how this would lead to this, that desire to destroy everything. It's a very juvenile concept. It's a very it's a very instant bullet concept of, hey, I personally feel real bad, so why not just destroy the world? A tiny little stain here. Oh, is he in Tartarus? I guess he is. Those look like the straps that people have back in Tartarus. Hmm. So I guess these aren't all necessarily like things he's seen. Obviously not, because oh, that's Bakugo from the when he was practicing on the drums. That's a very eclectic mix of images though. Like some of them are just the sky, some of them are just scenery. This is just straight up a sexy couple. This is someone with I don't recognize who this could be. Like I assume this is just a random child for the sake of showing a child, but I don't know who this is. Like that feels more it could just be, someone with a rose, like symbolizing someone in love, but it feels very specific. Okay, so lend me a hand, won't you, Doctor? Heaven and hell both. I'll show you all of it. He's definitely gotten a lot more eloquent. I really appreciate that. Okay, is that enough, though? Is that enough to sway the Doctor? Yeah, Tomura seems kind of disturbed. I love that's Toga saying that. Hmm. Wait, you want to destroy even the things I love? My allies are exceptions. You guys should get what you want in life. Even that I assume is a lie, or if not a lie, I assume it's like, it's not ideal. Like he would want to destroy the entire world. It's just for the sake of making it happen, he is willing to compromise just a tiny little bit, just a skosh. Oh, it's Endeavor with the flower. Okay. Thanks, damage. Also, man, my lag must be real bad. I just realized how long it takes between me saying something and other people like noticing it. Oof, I'd better fix that for next time. Hmm. Okay. The plan was always to help you out. These ones are the first thing, as well as some research I've put together, all to give you power. Okay. What could that mean? Like, is it political power, or like my immediate thing is just it's the the quirk boosters from vigilantes. Like just like just a drug that makes your individual quirk a lot stronger. That's the clearest thing, but even then, hmm. The big guy, simple as he is a different story. Unlike me, he hasn't accepted you yet. So okay. Okay, so I thought we were gonna get two separate objectives. But no, it's just one. It's just get Gigantomachia to submit to you. And everything I have will be yours to use as you see fit. Nice, nice. It's been a while since he's used like direct gamer metaphors. Alright, so we've got some Dobby focus. Oh, I just realized Dobby means like he's talking about Hawks. Obviously. Because my first thought, weirdly enough, was, oh, he's talking about high end. The high end that is currently in a tube that he just saw for the first time. But no, he means Hawks, obviously. Oh, you can help me test out a high end Nomu. I know just the one, the perfect match for your, let's say, aesthetics. Okay, so this is setting up the Endeavor versus high end fights. I really kind of appreciate that that wasn't supposed to be, the thing that makes him work with the Doctor. Though, that still leaves the big question of, did Shigaraki manage to convince Gigantomachia to work with him? We know the Gigantomachia is moving in the present, but is that just because he's, just hanging out? Or did Shigaraki finally convince him? Oh, I thought this was like a communicator, but it looks like each of the individual things here are tiny communicators. Okay, so it's not even the Doctor's quirk, it's this tiny Nomu's quirk. Or, I assume that the Nomu is not part of the Doctor. I assume it's just in his lap. It could be connected, but I don't think so. Hey, it's the return of the future king. All right. Now you're all caught up. This is us facing off against Gigantamakia, and things are about to get real. The League of Villains is doomed. All right. Well, that's a big moment. God damn. Well then. Well then. Is he? Wait a minute. Where is this? Yes, he is. Yes, he is turning the dial here. That's so cool. Like I noticed the chuck, but I didn't fully understand. Like I didn't make the mental connection there. That's oh my god. This also feels like the end of a volume. I don't know if that's true or not, but it feels like it. I am so excited for my hero, like more so than I have in a long time. I don't want it to be a full of villain arc, but not gonna lie, like I'd be okay with a very villain heavy arc, or one where it's even like the Hasakai arc, but with the League of Villains and the heroes swapped in a way, like in the sense that we do have heroes in it, or we have like maybe Class 1A somehow, but they're a very small part of it, and it's mostly the League of Villains versus um Talented reversed is a Deternauts. Yeah, the League of Villains versus Deternauts slash the new uprising. And yeah, Gigantomachia is real cool. I'm so curious to know what they'll do with him though. Like it seems like he's just a brawler. Especially like I have seen other threads now. I know that in the fan scans they said that Gigantomachia had multiple quirks. In the official ones they said that he didn't. I don't know which one is correct, but I know that that is a that is a thing that people are like confused about. But regardless, like I guess I'm saying that like if he doesn't have multiple quirks, then he seems like he's mostly just very tough. Though he might also just know stuff that All for One also knew. Like, stuff he wouldn't have told Shigaraki just because Shigaraki would have jumped to it too early. Detnerat. Fine, fine. Detnerat. Listen, I'm drunk. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that was my hero. I'm putting that where is this going? A good chapter. Not as good as The Promised Neverland, for sure. Not as good as this beer. Um, I don't know if it's as good as Annihilation. It was really good. I don't know if I should add or subtract points for this. I don't understand this. This is still ugh. The rest of the chapter though was outstanding, like genuinely outstanding. I guess it is better than Annihilation, which is surprising. Like but I mean, we've had this coming for a long time, and I really do appreciate that we didn't get all of Shigaraki's backstory. Like because it's been given to us in small doses piecemeal, I feel like if we had like a full chapter that was just here's all of it, it would be too much. We do need to slowly build it up, and then maybe in like 50 chapters or so we could get like the full thing. All right, well, um, you know what? Before I move to the author comments, let's do Caleb Cook's Twitter because I actually do want to know if he knows anything about Mothra. Ooh, an art swap between My Hero 18 and Vigilante 4. That's cool. I love it. Knuckle Duster really is the greatest from Horikoshi himself. Knuckle Duster is amazing. Like no spoilers, but if you aren't reading Vigilantes, it's a good series. Oh, was it an April Fool's joke about the second movie? That would make sense. Um, wait, where's the first tweets? Like, how does Twitter work? No, that's just releases. Uh, oh boy, there's a lot of stuff out. Are these okay? This is the trivia. The title page is absolutely meant to be a joke slash non sequitur. Okay, good. Now I get it. Now I get it. Oh, we get One Punch Man next week? Okay, very excited. I would happily trade a chapter of current One Piece for a current chapter of One Punch Man. Right, right? I mean, I didn't know specifically where it showed up, but I remembered it. The black plain shirt plus Capri pants for AFO or AFO's fashion choices for Weetomura. Oh, that's neat. I know a lot of people have ragged on it for being like, "Is it just a onesie? What's going on here?" But I think it's cool. And the idea that it is literally, it's what his master chose for him, and even now he's still wearing the same thing. I think that's very heartfelt. Hmm. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'll save it for next week's stream. The only way I'll do multiple One Punch Mans like out of Weekly Shonen Jump is if we do get like a big dump of them. Like if Viz starts trying to catch up like even quicker than they already have, then I would totally like just do a pure One Punch Man stream or something. But yeah. So like how would he have killed all of them but left just the hands? That is extremely curious. Hmm. True, true, true. But I don't think so. Everything we've seen so far does imply that it keeps on going until the thing is fully disintegrated. Hmm. Okay. Decay was not inherited the normal way. Nobody in his family had it. Okay, so it's the same thing, or it's not the same thing because he says it's new terminology. Like it's not the terminology he used before for Ares' like crazy mutation. Huh. Oh. Hmm. I mean, maybe if the gloves themselves are made out of multiple types of material or something, I'll just buy it. I'll buy it. Like I'm willing to accept it. I mean, it's not that I'm willing to accept it without any analysis, but I assume there is a reason. I don't want to try and be like, "Oh, this is definitely not correct." Ah, okay, it could be an arrow. I see. It does make more sense than a spear, like but then again, why would they have an arrow around? I guess a spear and an arrow are both very strange things to have around. Ah, okay. Mhm. Yeah, so they're not expressive. They're never embracing him. They're just clutching. Okay. Huh. Who's this? When I first saw it, I assumed it was All for One, but I guess now that I'm properly like focusing on it, it does feel a little weird to be All for One. I assumed it was though, but I guess that isn't the way he looks currently in Tartarus. So it could just be someone else trying to make Shigaraki a stand user. Very possibly. Right. Yeah, this is still the big question of like it's not just the Goopy teleport. It's at least one of the other quirks that High End had, right? Where it was specifically like this is definitely not a thing. Like, this is a thing that All for One had, but no one else did, or no one else did what we saw. So, oh wait, what? Oh, that's why we got the shots. Okay. Wait, when was this? Oh yeah. Okay, okay. There was a lot going on in this one panel. It was a fantastic panel, I've got to say. But one of my favorite chapters in Vigilantes is this like quick cutaway where we see like All for One first working with his not with this guy, but with the police guy that he's super friends with. And I don't know, something about that is super homey. Like the idea of a hero who is an official hero, but who is real bad at doing his paperwork. It reminds me a lot of like modern Spider-Man, where Peter is currently part of like a big company. Like he runs Parker Industries. Actually, he doesn't right now, but he used to. And he would constantly have to like run away from actual CEO duties to go web sling. Something about that aesthetic is super cool. Ah, okay. I've never seen this before, but this is extra amazing. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I honestly 100% thought it was supposed to be an intestine, but a scarf makes sense. That is, ugh, that's kind of worrying though. I mean, I really, really like Giron. Hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, let's actually do the proper author comments, and then let's get out of here. The anime starting. I really was not the biggest fan of the first volume of Demon Slayer, but I will check out the anime because I assume the anime is going to do a couple volumes, and it might just, I don't know, it might appeal to me more. But okay, so that was meant to promote the anime, the cover, I mean. The idea of getting merchandise for a thing you make is just the greatest. It's the season of delicious strawberries and editor changes. Thanks, Team Naikin and Osigi. Let's work well together. New Team Takanoa Naikin. Yuki Tabata eating as always. Well, eating along with his wife. This week's chapter is pretty gruesome, but I was able to do a collabo with Toho. I'm so happy I got to draw a kaiju. These are the moments I live for. So it was officially a collab with Toho. I guess for April Fools, but still. Like the fact that it's not just a giant monster thing, but it is specifically a Toho, like, permitted Mothra parody is the weirdest thing. Taishi Susui being a dad. This feels like an extremely dad thing to say. Gege Akutami continuing to just like mention things he does wrong in the chapters. It's a season for cherry blossom viewing. Premium bread. What is premium bread? I mean, it might just be like, this is the expensive bread, but still. Yeah, like nothing's really coming up as like a specific type of bread that is called premium bread. I got a new bed and down futon every night to go to bed a little nervous. I understand that feeling of like, oh boy, this stuff is super expensive. I sure don't want to sweat through it. None of these are the greatest comments. Yeah, we'll just end it there. Anyways, that was Weekly Shonen Jump for the week of March 31st, 2019. Final rankings. Oh yeah, I said I wasn't going to do final rankings anymore. I guess the most important thing to point out is that this beer is, in fact, better than My Hero Academia, but not as good as The Promised Neverlands. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. This was a fun stream. Catch you next week. Bye for now. Nya nya.